There's something profoundly humbling about watching someone you love grow old. It happens slowly, and at first, almost invisibly. A slight hesitation while walking, a quiet sigh where laughter used to be, a pause before responding to a familiar name. Each moment easily brushed off until the picture becomes clearer. Aging is not a straight line. It's a winding road with moments of light and shadow, strength and vulnerability. And when someone enters the final chapter of life, there are signs, often subtle, that speak louder than words, if only we know how to listen. For many, the signs come not in dramatic medical emergencies, but in quiet transformations. They begin to withdraw from the world. A once chatty grandmother now prefers to sit in silence, gazing out the window instead of joining family conversations. The once lively grandfather who never missed a Sunday outing now declines invitations and seems content doing nothing at all. At first, it seems like simple fatigue or perhaps a momentary mood. But gradually, the pattern settles in. It's not about sadness or depression, though those can be part of it. It's something deeper, a gentle turning inward. The soul, perhaps, beginning to shift focus from the noise of the world to the stillness within. One of the most overlooked signs is the change in sleeping patterns. You may notice that your loved one is sleeping more during the day and staying awake at odd hours of the night. They may appear drowsy even after what seems like a full night's rest. This isn't just aging. It's the body slowly changing its rhythm, conserving energy, preparing for a quieter way of existing. Meals become smaller, less frequent. Appetite fades, and favorite dishes are left half-eaten. It's not just pickiness or forgetfulness. It's the body no longer demanding what it used to. Digestion slows, taste changes, and sometimes there's simply no hunger. You might feel frustrated trying to coax them to eat, insisting they finish what's on the plate. But this isn't about nutrition anymore. It's about comfort. The goal isn't calories, but peace. And that shift can be difficult for family members to accept, especially when they've always seen food as a symbol of care and love. Another sign is the change in conversation. People in their final year often stop talking about the future. They stop planning trips, stop worrying about birthdays or holidays. Instead, they reminisce. Their thoughts return to their childhood, to people long gone, to memories that surface without warning. They may tell the same story more than once, not out of forgetfulness, but because those moments are closest to their heart. You might find that they speak in metaphors, mention seeing loved ones who've already passed, or express a feeling that something's coming. These aren't hallucinations, necessarily. They're spiritual experiences, signals of a mind and soul beginning to prepare for transition. It can be disconcerting to hear your parents speak of long-deceased relatives as if they've just visited. But in many traditions, this is seen not as a symptom of confusion, but a sign of the veil thinning between this world and the next. Physical changes follow closely. Skin becomes fragile, almost translucent. Veins stand out more prominently. Bruises appear more easily. Hands and feet may grow colder as circulation slows. The body prioritizes its core functions, drawing warmth and energy inward. Breathing may become more shallow, with occasional pauses that catch you off guard. You might witness moments of labored effort followed by long silences, as if their body is learning how to breathe differently. For caregivers and loved ones, these signs can be both terrifying and surreal, but they are often not painful, not violent. They are gentle signals, like the tide receding from the shore. There is also a change in energy, a kind of physical letting go. Tasks that once seemed simple become burdensome. Bathing, dressing, even standing for a few minutes can feel overwhelming. You may notice a decline in hygiene, not out of laziness, but because the effort feels too great. This can be hard to witness. The independent person you knew is now relying on others for the most basic care. And yet, there's often a quiet dignity in this stage, a grace that defies words. If you take the time to sit with them, without rushing, without trying to fix or change anything, you may find moments of incredible clarity and beauty. A gentle smile, a soft hand squeeze, a look that says more than 1,000 words. Mentally, there can be periods of confusion, forgetting where they are, mixing up dates, repeating questions. But just as often, there are moments of profound lucidity. They may say something deeply insightful, something that cuts straight to the heart of life. These glimpses are gifts. They remind us that even in decline, the spirit remains vibrant. They may talk about forgiveness, about regrets, about love. They may open up in ways they never have before. This is the time to listen, not to correct or redirect, but simply to be present. You might also notice emotional shifts. Anger, fear, sadness. These emotions can rise and fall like waves. But so can peace, gratitude, and acceptance. Sometimes, all of these exist at once. It's important to remember that dying is not just a medical process. It's an emotional, spiritual, and relational one. It is, in many ways, the final act of a life being lived. And like any great act, it deserves attention, care, and reverence. One of the greatest acts of love we can offer someone in their final year is simply to be with them. Not to fill the silence with words, not to rush to solutions, but to sit quietly, hold their hand, and let them know they're not alone. Small acts mean everything. A gentle touch, a warm blanket, a familiar song. These are the ways we speak love when words fail. As time goes on, you may feel the air change. There's a stillness that settles in the room. Days blur together, and time seems to move differently. And yet, within that stillness is a sacred kind of presence. You may find yourself reflecting more, cherishing the little things, a smile, a whispered thank you, a shared tear. The final year of someone's life is not only about preparing for death, it's about celebrating a life. It's a time to say the things you've been meaning to say, to forgive what needs forgiving, to express gratitude. These are not just goodbyes. They are declarations of love. It's also a time to care for yourself. Watching someone you love fade is emotionally exhausting. There's grief before the loss, a quiet mourning that begins long before the last breath. It's okay to feel overwhelmed, to cry, to laugh, to remember. You are not just a witness to their journey, you are part of it. And in walking beside them, you are performing one of the most sacred acts a human being can do. As the final moments draw near, many people experience what's known as terminal lucidity, a surprising moment of energy or clarity, as if they are saying one last goodbye. Some may call out the names of loved ones. Others may smile and look towards something invisible yet comforting. These are not moments to fear, they are moments to cherish. The final breath is often soft, barely audible. And in that moment, there is both an ending and a beginning. What remains is not just memory, but love. The signs of the final year are not meant to scare you. They are meant to guide you. They are the body's way of saying it is ready. They are the soul's way of asking for presence. If you are watching these signs unfold in someone you love, know that your presence matters. Your love matters. And even in silence, in stillness, you are speaking volumes. Because when the end draws near, it's not the grand gestures that are remembered, it's the quiet ones. The nights spent holding hands, the stories shared under dim lights, the warmth of a familiar voice saying, "I'm here." These are the moments that stay, the moments that carry us through grief, and the moments that remind us just how powerful love can be, even in the face of death. They say we die the way we live. So let us help our loved ones die with dignity, peace, and the knowledge that they are deeply, unforgettably loved. And in doing so, we give them the greatest gift of all, a beautiful ending to a beautiful life.